Okay, so I'm here to talk about my character in the film Baadshaho, and it's coming out on the 1st of September, just so you know. And I'm playing a queen, and her name is Gitanjali. And the cool thing about Gitanjali is that she's incredibly opinionated, very strong, and kind of like a misfit. So she starts off wearing these really cool pantsuits because she doesn't consider herself any less than the men around her. So she feels, I think she's more into power dressing. So I love the fact that we have a whole lot of suits, and I can take you through a few of them. So there are these really lovely jackets with like really cool, maybe even jewel tones. We have these burgundies, lovely greens, and of course a black suit. And instead of wearing your quintessential shirt inside or a blouse inside, I thought it would be really cool if we had a waistcoat inside, because it's just a little more chic, and it's kind of powerful in another way. It's sexy and it's sensual, but not in that in your face sort of way. So I thought it was a really cool idea, and this is probably the only film I've given that much thought, that much involvement as far as the styling goes. So I used a lot of my own clothes as references, and yeah, we kind of had clothes made based on the stuff that I had at home. So we had lots of these really cool suits, with waistcoats in. There was a really nice jacket that we tried out as well, with a really cool pantsuit, black pantsuit. This was a little bit different. There was this really nice green suit that we did, and I love the color. I think it's really cool, it's really in. And instead of that, we had a blouse that was the fact that it's not in that satiny zone, but it's sort of feminine, but at the same time very cool and also very powerful. So I didn't really know a lot about the sort of fashion quotient or the kind of styles that were used in the 70s. So I think the only kind of reference work I did for Gitanjali was to look up the references in the 70s. What was great was that Milan had a huge bunch of references that he had picked out as well. And of course the classics are, the flared pants, the bell bottoms. And I realized that in a way you can't really, for Gitanjali especially, I couldn't go exactly how it was there, because she is a polished woman, she is royalty at the end of the day. So there had to be a little bit of tweaking done to make sure that she stood out in a different way. So she comes in from a very westernized background, and this is basically the reason why she's worn a whole lot of these really cool suits. And yeah, I don't know which one's my favorite, honestly. I have a feeling maybe if I had to choose, I think it would be this one. Just for the fact that I don't know, it stood out a lot. There was a really powerful scene that we shot in this one, and it was also sort of one of those scenes where you see her slightly vulnerable, and it's very rare for Gitanjali to come across as emotional and little vulnerable. So yeah, this was that scene that we shot. Very cool scene, look it up, look up for it. I think coincidentally my style somehow, I don't want to say that my style is sort of 70s, but it somehow was, because as far as the suits go, this is something that we pretty much used from my wardrobe. I pulled out a lot of stuff that I had on my own. Like I said, I thought the waistcoats was a really cool idea. It's something that you may have seen in the 70s, but maybe more in Western movies. So yeah, I think the Western part of it, all the suits, were a fair bit of my influence as well. So let's just say Ileana's influenced Gitanjali as well. Okay, so the other phase in Gitanjali's life is when she eventually does take control and take over the throne and become queen. And of course she has this image for the public. So she has, of course, her quintessential sarees, and in the 70s they wore sarees in Rajasthan that weren't very heavy. They were quite light and very feminine, and so we sort of stuck with that, and we've got like very pretty work done. The stylist that we had on the film file really got this simple work done, nothing too heavy. And of course the best thing to do with like really simple sort of sarees is have amazing jewelry. So we had these really sort of heavy, beautiful pieces that's kind of like like raw, like uncut diamonds and stuff like that, and pearls. Pearls is something that I think very, very classic, very, very I think it's sort of reminiscent of being a queen in a way, I think, pearls. So yeah, so that's pretty much Gitanjali for you. She's kind of in that classic, elegant sort of space, and she doesn't overdo her dressing, but she sort of sticks to the classics as much as possible. We also experimented with a really cool saree that's here. It's really nice. But yeah, this, I don't know if you remember this, but this basically is the, should I say infamous or famous coat that falls off
I want that one. This one. This is the one I like.
Me.
Sorry guys, just
This is what
bombing
he loves the
this, but this is my favorite. Carry on.
So like Milan said, this is the, I don't want to say infamous, but the famous quote that was dropped. And I think the meaning and the reason behind this was, again, I mean, it's a massive sort of part of Gitanjali's character. You know, she's a bold woman, she's a strong woman, she knows what she wants, she's very confident in who she is and what she looks like. And I think it's such a lovely, strong move from a woman to sort of come forward and do something like that. So, especially a queen. And I thought it was beautifully shot. And yes, this was the coat that we used. So ladies, if you do want to, you know, take some tips, try a really nice overcoat and see how you go with that. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what we've done. We've had some really nice Indian jewelry that we've used with the sarees. And yeah, as far as the sarees, I think I made sure that it was very important that a queen has to showcase some really beautiful jewelry, because at the end of the day, she is royalty, and one of the biggest, I think, sort of marks of royalty is to have jewelry that really stands out, and absolutely exquisite jewelry. So we try to get as much as possible as far as that's concerned. And yeah, that's something that you'll definitely notice. So I thought something like with the pink saree is what I'd worn. This was the one I'd worn at the race course. And we just thought something really interesting like pearls would really stand out with it. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've done. But I think Gitanjali will really stand out for me as one of my most stylish, unique, intense, beautiful characters. So if you've liked this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe to Pinkvilla. And if at all you're into celebrity fashion and you find us fascinating, please go on to Pinkvilla shopping.